Now, let's talk about Dan Quayle.
My choice for the vice presidency is Senator Dan Quayle of Indiana.
I'm proud to have Dan Quayle at my side.
Mr. Bush was a war hero in World War II. You're tough on defense. Do you think it's going to be a handicap in the campaign that you didn't fight in Vietnam?
No, I do not.
What was your motivation, can you tell us, when you sought to get into the Indiana National Guard? Was it to avoid going to Vietnam?
You chose to go in the National Guard rather than to serve in Vietnam. Can you give us a little bit of what you were thinking during that time?
Senator, you have been criticized, as we all know, for your decision to stay out of the Vietnam War.
Dan Quayle was savagely attacked and ridiculed by the national press for going into the National Guard.
Exhaustive investigation by the national media, who thought something was wrong by serving in the National Guard. It was just a ridiculous pursuit of time and effort that proved to be nothing. The first impressions that many had, and certainly most Americans who saw it via the media, was very negative.
And I did not know in 1969 that I would be in this room today, I'll confess. Nearly 20 years ago, I had no reason to be ashamed of my service. And you know what? I'm sure as hell not ashamed of it now.
As a young man, I served 6 years in the National Guard, and like millions of Americans who have served in the Guard, I serve today, and I'm proud of that.
I determined that the best course of action for me was to serve my country in the National Guard just as you did.
When I was doing my active duty for the Army, I was in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and he was in Oxford, England. I chose to serve, and he chose not to.
My dad was a chain-smoking Korean War-era veteran who 2 days after my 17th birthday took me down to sign up to join the National Guard. I was proud for the next 24 years to wear the uniform of this country.